Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan Hardy. I'm a senior in plant and soil sciences with a concentration in agronomic science. The topic that I have selected for my project is soybean cyst nematodes, and in general, just basically off the symptoms that occur with the disease. The way that I displayed my presentation is through a lucid chart, and I want to give you a brief information about the disease itself, some symptoms that occur around it, and some treatment options that will ultimately help you decrease the amount of or the actual population of the soybean cyst nematode itself. The reason that I selected this topic is because this disease has ultimately eradicated some of the soybean yields that we have on my family farm. And this is something that has occurred for multiple years until we were able to get it diagnosed by an agronomist. So let's get started with looking at the lucid chart. Some general information about the soybean cyst nematode. It is a parasitic plant nematode that infects the root of the soybean. On average, it will impact yields for up to 10 to 20 or even more. And in my case itself, I believe the yield losses were more dramatic, or more to say, to 30 to 50%. And that was generally because of some of the stunning that occurred with the nematode itself. A few symptoms of soybean cyst nematode are generally not observed, and that is because like we said, the infection occurs from the roots, and that's where you're going to be able to find the cyst itself. Ultimately, the soybean can be infected by legume crops or other weeds, and generally the host itself is the soybean. So symptoms, we both have, again, above ground symptoms and below ground symptoms. So beginning with above ground symptoms, we have chlorosis and stunning. Chlorosis can be observed with yellowing of the plants, and in general that is from a nutrient deficiency. Whenever the cyst itself begins to uptake some of the nutrients that the actual plant itself will get. Stunning will also occur, like we've mentioned, and overall this will happen in more or less spots throughout the field, or even in some cases larger scales. And in general, stunning and chlorosis will most of the time being seen together. So again, the below ground symptoms, they're not generally observed. They are only way you're actually going to be able to observe it is through pulling up the root itself. From there, you'll be able to see the female adult, which is the cyst that it can be observed on the root. And in general, they are white to yellow. They are formed in an oval shape, and when they're actually dead, they're brown. Some of the treatment options that we have available currently is gene resistance, cultural practices, and chemical